All right, so it's time for Join Us Interactive, and Aisha has joined me again, and she's going to be moderating Join Us Interactive. Hello, Aisha.
It's always good to see you, Israel.
It's good to see you too, and
Especially,
I like the bread in your outfit.
especially when you're also looking fantastic. And
Thank you.
when you're wearing my color, you know how it feels
I
too.
know, I know, I know.
All right. So, you know how to join the conversation. It's on facebook.com/Joy News on TV. And on Twitter, it's on Joy News on TV. You know the rules. Let's keep it tight. No harsh words. Let's have a beautiful conversation. All right, so School of Survey and Mapping is to be closed down under the orders of the Lands and Natural Resources Minister. The directive follows a recent clash over land at the school's premises. Now, the students have since vowed to defy the minister's orders until government heeds to their demand. The question I ask, do you think this is the best solution to the impasse between the students and the school over the sale of the school's land?
Accredited, then they don't even have the right to do any form of demonstration or anything. They just have to move. But if they are accredited and they need them to move for whatever reason, maybe for greater good, I still won't say he's not right.
I don't know much about the contract and what is going on. The reason why the minister is, they want to sell it. But one thing I know is education is education. And something which brought out the future of people, no, we don't destroy it. So the ministers should go back and sit down and get a better plan for it.
For as a student, and then you are in a school which is not accredited, and then maybe after school, because after school and then your school is not accredited, where are you going to work, or who is going to employ you?
Things started before the new government, and there was this issue, but we felt education should not be played with. If they knew that the school was not accredited, they should have dealt with this issue long ago. But don't wait for somebody to enroll for 3 years, getting to the final year, you tell them because they are not accredited, you are driving them out. Honorable Peter Amewu is really overreacting to this issue. I think the best way to handle this is to sit the needed stakeholders down, take their grievances, and see the best way out.
All right, so we'll be bringing you messages from Facebook on this issue. But the New Patriotic Party has also launched its own inquiry into what contributed to the party's victory. The 10-member committee, which will be doing the review, is also to investigate how the party could improve its performance in the next election. Simple question I'm asking. What, in your assessment, led the NPP to victory in the 2016 elections?
First of all, there was a general crisis in the country. Issues of unemployment was one. Graduate unemployment rose to its highest peak prior to election. And the other aspect was certain comments by the flag bearer of the NDC, the Yentiobia, the dead goat syndrome, and others. People felt, as a leader, your major task is to address the grievances of your people, but telling them I have now turned to a dead goat and that I fear nothing at all means he wasn't ready to listen to some of us. And they were not even aware of the problems most Ghanaians were really facing.
Oh, okay. That one day I would say, we look at our situation, how the economy is, and we vote for change. This time we decided to move the government in power and replace it and see if the country will be better. That's my mind. And we are seeing it. If by next 4 years, still that's how it is going on, the system is so harder, then we change it. Because PPP is there, Ekwadonko, those stuff are there. So we try Ekwadonko. Because they are being men. If there is a need for another person, we'll try and change it.
If he hears of their political talks, the things they promise the people they will be doing, like one district, one dam, free SHS, and then the teachers allowance and the next. That encourage the youth because let me say 50% of the youth are in the nursing training, and let me say in the training school. So with the view that maybe by voting for him, like maybe they'll gain their how do I say that, their allowances. So I'm thinking that's the motive behind that.
NPP won because I think the country needed that kind of break from wherever we were. I think that's why, I know that's why they won. We needed to be away from where we were. That's it.
All right, so those were some of the comments on the street, Israel. If you had to describe the NPP's victory in one sentence, what would you say led to their victory?
Well, I can use one sentence. It takes quite a few things. I think generally, you know how we have the 8-year cycle. That
Yes.
after a party has been in power for 8 years,
Definitely.
we feel that we should change.
I think it was one of the things
And-
that worked for them.
And yes, there are issues having to do with the economy. There's also the energy issues and people thinking that the corruption was becoming too much.
Yeah.
So a lot of all these factors put
Played.
together. And then again, you look at, I would never discount the Baumia factor.
The Bamia
The
factor.
people felt that yes, it looks like the NPP has this solid guy as far as economics is concerned,
has a grips
who,
on the-
has a grip on the economy, and so
Yeah.
he could do some wonders. And so yes, in a situation where you have the economy being such a big deal, if you have a guy like that, that's a strong hand.
And I think it worked so much for the NPP.
looks
Let's
like
check out
it.
what you've been saying on
It
Facebook.
looks like it. So then there, Simon says, if the schools lack accreditation, and this has to do with the School of Surveying and Mapping, which the minister has directed that it be shut down. If the school lacks accreditation, what processes were undertaken since its establishment? And all of a sudden, it has been issued such a deadly blow. DJ Damien says, so they are willing to have a mall in place of education. When the student turned to Roberts, I pray they'll remember the minister that day. Prince Nuruddin says the minister should try and resolve the grievances of the students, period. Kwesi Boateng Ayew says Ghana is a very interesting country. We're never serious about anything.
Nahamed Tijani Ahmed says, throwing the bathwater away with the baby, the case of Bitameu and the closure of the School of Survey. The sovereign state of Ghana has come of age to still linger in the leadership of medieval times, inherent in every political leadership. And
I suspect it's some thesis, so like we.
oh my goodness!
Yes,
Yes, indeed. This way
Move
too
on.
long. And Vincent Mensah says the minister has sold the place for the construction of a mall. No, I beg to differ. The minister says it is earmarked for construction of a land commission
Head office.
That's what the minister says. And Andrew Kofi Opon says, what good will my thoughts do? A lot, of course. You are supposed to be a citizen, not a spectator, according to your president. Okay, so
if we could get the comments having to do
with the
with the
NPP's
NPP's victory.
inquiries.
Right. So Bambaki Sama said, I think NPP won the election because they've taken the risk to promise the electorate what they really wanted to hear, which the opponents were afraid to promise or do. As incumbent was destroying the hopes of the people by cancelling teachers and nursing training allowance, NPP was patching up the hopes of the people by promising to restore it. And what an intelligent risk-taking. Ibrahim Umar says the NPP won the election because of their mouth-watering promises which they are yet to fulfill. Ghanaians didn't believe the truth the former president was telling them, but rather fell for the efficient, deceptive policies of the opposition. Then there's Simon says Ghanaians were giving so many juicy promises, that is restoration of teacher nurses allowances, one district, one factory, etc. Some of which we have come to the realization were false. Some we are yet to see, while some are commendable. Billy Graham says they lied their way to power by empty promises. Example, free universal education now affecting only Form 1s, tax reliefs on spare parts which is not working, etc. All right.
Hayfordin Kamasari says, critically, I think their win was based on two cardinal reasons: the well-communicated promises or life-transforming policies, the fact that people were fed up with the incompetence governance of President Mahama, and he talks of arrogance of young government appointees, corruption, economic hardship, etc. Romeo AJ says they are better managers than the Yanums. At least they are established business people who won't create loot and share with impunity. Abdul Fattah Abubakar says they didn't have any straightforward policy in their campaign, rather than resulting to the annoying Ababase response and the Lufti Green Book. And NS Ayensu Senior says they promised heaven, waiting for it to manifest on earth. And those are coming from NS. And finally, the only way a black woman can keep her husband is by allowing him to have side chicks. Really? Well, so says a happily married black woman, an author, Askia Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, do you agree?
It's never true. It looks quite insulting. There has been this publication that what the black man knows how to do best is having sex, which I find to be very insulting. A black man is capable of doing anything, and I am of the view that it's all about you supporting each other and understanding each other. We are all made of different, we all come from different backgrounds. It's just a matter of understanding where your husband comes from or where your wife comes from. You understanding each other and being ready to sacrifice for each other. That, I think, is capable of leading to a more successful marriage.
Not even a girl. Because the Bible forbid it. It's even wrong for adultery. And I prefer every man, Paul says, because of adultery, every man should get at least one. And one is okay for everyone. That's how I think.
If you have more girlfriends, you'll not be concentrated on.
No, I just don't think that's right. I mean, how, in the first place, you're not keeping him if he gets to have side chicks. I mean, the best is you're sharing. So I think keeping, well, it sounds like just words, but keeping is keeping, it's not sharing. They are two different things. So if the way to have him is to allow him to have side chicks, fine, then you still have him some way. But to keep him for yourself, side chicks, nah.
Then because the love will be shared among them, so you don't have 100% care, caring for the one you love. You understand?
Yeah. Interesting comments from the streets, and there are more interesting comments on Facebook, and I can't wait to hear that, Israel.
But Maki Asama said, this one, yes, beyond making your husband happy. If that is the case, what will the man do to make his wife happy? Perhaps he should also allow her to have several boyfriends. Yeah. This author has got it all wrong. Then there Simon says, it doesn't add up, allowed to have several side chicks. Till when? That is total lack of discipline and love for the other spouse, a fundamental ingredient for marriage. Asa Lambert says, not all, because girls or side chicks can easily win the man's heart, that he will soon forget the wife. And DJ Damien says, when you marry a man who doesn't belong to you, by the help of your juju pastor, then get ready to deal with a side chick.
Ishmael Halil says, as for this one, he should have several wives and not girlfriends. Well, if your religion allows it, there are religions that do not allow several wives, so definitely there are going to be side chicks.
But your religion allows.
My religion allows it. But
your husband to take other wives.
I really don't think I can agree to such proposal. Hell no. Musa says, this is serious. It means freedom of movement, but the woman will never be happy because her peace has been compromised by her husband's love. Alex Asante says, it's not a bad idea from my... Oh, of course, I didn't expect you to say it was a bad idea. My point of view as a man, but for heaven's sake, I don't agree. Great. Frederick Nikote says, Eish, asembeni. Proverbs 25 verses 28 says, like a city whose walls are broken down is a man who lacks self-control. No matter how smart you are, you can't outwit God. And Oheneba McDonough says, this one you are going to make him more happy. But it's never true. It's wrong. The Bible says so, of course. And I think it's wrong. Israel, what do you think about this author?
Well, watch her not drink. That's all I can say about it. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what she thinks.
You know, I love one of the people who send their comments. He says, so then what will the husband do for the woman to be happy?
Yeah.
I guess she should also keep so many boyfriends.
Will
it happen?
Well, it can't happen.
This recipe,
you don't want that to happen.
This is recipe for disaster.